Hey guys, what is up? It is Omega SMG coming at you with a new video. This one is on synths. So I'm going to be telling you what the best the best synth for noobs is. So let's go ahead and go down the line. So the top one I would recommend is Serum. The reason I'd recommend Serum is because it has FM synthesis functions. It has an FX tab, has matrix, like the matrix is really nice. It has many things that makes it really good, and it's also really visual. So for the newer people, they're able to look at it and see what differences it's making, and it's pretty easy to use too. Has a lot of different wave shapes, which makes it so that you can make unique sounds even easier than you already could. But okay, so Serum is number one. So this is gonna be something that a lot of people don't agree with me on, but I would not recommend Silent One for your first one. So the reason I wouldn't is because it is only subtractive. It has some envelopes and you can put LFOs on it. But in order to get unique sounds with purely subtractive synthesis, it is kind of difficult. So next one I would recommend, I'm definitely going to have to go with GMS for this one, because GMS is like Silent but cheaper. Now the reason that I wouldn't recommend Silent is because of its high price point. It's hard to use, all things considered. But GMS is not that. GMS is like Silent but cut down a bit and significantly cheaper. In fact, I'm pretty sure on the Image Line website it's like $50 or something. It's crazy cheap, but it has effects just like Silent. It has multiple wave shapes, which has more wave shapes than Silent. You can't change wave shapes in Silent as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure you're limited to the basic ones that it has. But got your filter, your envelope for that filter, your frequency, or anything like that. These are all features that Silent has, but this comes at a much cheaper price and it's easier to use. So that is why GMS is my second most recommended. So now time to get into the third one. I would recommend Dune 2. I would recommend it. This is like, the way I describe Dune 2 is like Silence on crack. So you can just do insane amounts of things with this. So you got your mod matrix, you have an arpeggio mode, and you have all this stuff. It is completely insane what it leaves you with. It has a lot of presets too. Crazy amounts of presets. So got like 40 right there. Just a lot of presets. And when it comes to being new, presets are one of the best things you can get. So that is why I would recommend Dune 2 as number 3. And then number 4, this is going to be a bit of, well, it's going to be a bit controversial, but next I would recommend Massive. Massive is extremely powerful. It is easily one of the most powerful synths that you will ever see. So it has FM synthesis. There is a lot of control over what you can do in Massive. Way more that you can do than I have time to go over in this video. But it is extremely powerful. However, the reason it's at number 4 is if you want to use those features, you need to know what you're doing a lot. Because Massive is not the easiest software to use. In fact, it is extremely complex, but if you're willing to do the homework and put some time into researching it, it is amazing. So, got your attributes, all of that, then browser for your banks so that you're able to sort through things easier. It is just insane what you're able to do with this. So, that is why I have Massive at number 4. And number 5, pretty sure, yeah, this is FabFilter One is going to be number 5. So the reason I have it at number 5 is because it's kind of like a Moog knockoff, really. It's a lot like Moog, but it's not quite. But anyways, it's fairly easy to get a hold onto, but I can't recommend it as high as Massive or the other ones, because for one, it's less powerful than all of these up here, except for GMS. I'd say it might not even be that powerful, but it's fairly weak, and it also isn't standard. Like, if you want to learn how to program for Moog, then this is how you do it, but even then, I'd just recommend going with something like Mini Moog VA if you wanted to do that. But back to FabFilter One. So FabFilter One is, like, it has some decent presets. It's FabFilter. FabFilter always comes through when it comes to that sort of stuff, but really, it's just really basic. It doesn't have a standard layout like something like GMS has. Like with GMS, if you're watching a guide on how to do something in Silent, you can transfer all that over to GMS. It's fairly standard. Same thing with Serum. If you're seeing a tutorial on how to do something in GMS or Silent, you can definitely see you can definitely translate it over to Serum, but not so much with FabFilter One. It is definitely, like, if you're going for a first plugin, you want something standard that's able to transfer over. I'm going to get into more about that in another video, but for your starter stuff, you do not want anything that's not standard if you plan on doing it for a while, because if it doesn't have standard design or anything like that, then you're not going to be able to transfer over to more powerful synths. So any information you learn from it just isn't going to work, because it just isn't transferable. It's like if you spend years learning how to ride a motorcycle, and then eventually the motorcycle isn't enough for you. You need something more powerful, so you get a car, and you have a basic idea on what to do, because you know your waveforms and all that, and cut off filters and all that, but you aren't, like, driving a car is not the same thing as driving a motorcycle, so the skills don't transfer over, really. So those are my top 5 picks. If you guys have any recommendations, I would definitely suggest leaving them in the comments below. Also, if you want to, please share this video, because I'm a small YouTuber just wanting to share information, and information among producers is one of the most powerful things we can do. What we have is each other's backs. Like, I can provide you with information, you can provide me with information, but if we're just left alone and we learn nothing from other producers, then we don't end up doing anything new, because we have no one to learn from. So I must ask you to share this video, share my other FL Studio tutorial, and this has been Omega SMG signing off.